The Grand Prix Galleria was a cathedral of glass and chrome, housing millions of dollars in Italian engineering. Malik, a man of immense quiet wealth, walked through the doors. He was dressed casually but expensively in a white linen shirt and deep navy tailored trousers, his gold luxury watch tucked subtly under his cuff. He carried a deep navy leather portfolio. Holloway, a salesman who judged clients by the brand of their shoes, stood near a silver Ferrari F8. He wore a bold red luxury suit that signaled his aggressive ego. Beside him was Tessa, the lead saleswoman, her face twisted in a smirk of condescension as she watched Malik approach the mid-range sports car. Holloway's face contorted into a realistic, unmasked expression of aggressive rage the moment Malik touched the handle of the silver Ferrari. Holloway viewed the showroom as his personal kingdom and Malik as an unwelcome intruder. His nostrils flared, and a pulsing vein began to throb at his neck as he marched toward Malik, his heels clicking sharply on the polished floor. Hands off the merchandise. This car costs more than your entire neighborhood, Holloway roared. I'm looking for something for my daughter's graduation. This seems like a decent budget starter, Malik replied, his voice a calm, lethal deep navy frequency. He stepped back defensively as Holloway invaded his personal space. But Holloway was fueled by an unmasked fury. Holloway's aggression turned physical. He lunged forward and delivered a heavy-handed, aggressive shove to Malik's chest, slamming him back against the hood of the silver Ferrari. You're here for the air conditioning and the photos, Holloway snarled, his face showing anatomical micro-expressions of fury, his brow furrowed into deep ridges and his eyes widening in anger. In a display of unchecked disrespect, Holloway grabbed the deep navy portfolio from Malik's hand and violently slammed it onto the glass floor, the documents spilling out across the showroom. Holloway then grabbed Malik by the collar of his white linen shirt and pinned him against the car, while Tessa laughed and signaled the security guard to prep the trespass forms. The witnesses, Sterling and Maya, stood by the coffee bar, their phones raised to capture the raw, unmasked fury on Holloway's face as he physically manhandled the man. Get out of my sight before I have you arrested for loitering, Holloway hissed, his nostrils flaring. Malik looked at the hand on his collar, then at the spilled documents on the floor, specifically a yellow-sealed acquisition contract. Holloway, he whispered, you should have checked the wire transfer that cleared 5 minutes ago. You're not talking to a customer. You're talking to your new employer. The cavernous, glass-walled showroom of the Grand Prix Galleria felt suddenly pressurized as Holloway maintained his physical pin, his knuckles white and straining against the white linen fabric of Malik's shirt. Holloway's unmasked face was a portrait of pure, unadulterated aggressive rage. The veins at his neck pulsed with violent, rhythmic intensity that signaled his total loss of composure. His nostrils flared with every jagged breath, and the uneven skin texture on his forehead glistened with the sweat of his own fury. Tessa stood by the driver's side door of the silver Ferrari, her bold red pencil skirt cutting a sharp silhouette against the chrome as she smirked at the low-budget intruder being manhandled. You think you can just walk in here and touch the upholstery of a car you couldn't afford in 10 lifetimes? Holloway hissed, his face contorting with anatomical micro-expressions of fury, his brow furrowing into deep ridges and his eyes widening in anger until the whites were visible in a terrifying glare. I am the top producer in this city, and I decide who is worthy of this brand. You're a footnote. Now, I'm going to shove you through those glass doors myself. He exerted more pressure, slamming Malik's shoulders back against the silver Ferrari's hood with another aggressive shove. Malik remained perfectly calm, his eyes shifting to the yellow-sealed acquisition contract lying on the floor. He slowly reached into the pocket of his deep navy tailored trousers and pulled out a yellow-cased master smartphone. He didn't dial a number. He simply swiped his thumb across a biometric sensor. Holloway, Malik said, his voice dropping into a low, vibrating deep navy frequency that seemed to silence the entire showroom. You spent so much time looking at the brand on the cars that you forgot to look at the name on the building's deed. Suddenly, the massive 40-foot digital display wall, usually looping videos of supercars racing through the Italian Alps, flickered to a solid royal blue screen. A second later, it roared to life with a bold, extreme close-up video of the current interaction. The entire regional sales network, currently logged into a mandatory corporate live stream, watched in stunned silence as the screens displayed Holloway's snarling face and anatomical micro-expressions of fury as he physically assaulted the man who had just wired $400 million to acquire the dealership group. Holloway's grip on the white linen collar went limp. His face turned a sickly, translucent shade of gray as he looked up at the monitors and saw his own career being dismantled in real time. The mottled red patches on his skin faded into a hollow, trembling mass of terror as the realization hit. He hadn't just insulted a poor customer. He had attacked the new chairman of the Grand Prix Group. The automatic glass door slid open with a hiss, and a team of executive auditors and private security in deep navy tactical suits with yellow, owner detail lettering swarmed the showroom. Sterling in his gold silk blazer and Maya in her silver designer dress stepped forward, their phones broadcasting the total liquidation of Holloway's life to the city's automotive community. "Holloway and Tessa," the regional director announced, his voice echoing off the glass walls like a death knell. "By order of a new ownership group, you are summarily terminated for gross misconduct and breach of the luxury service charter. Your commissions for the last quarter are being held for an internal audit of your conduct." Malik stood up, straightening his white linen shirt and draping his deep navy silk blazer over his shoulders with a slow, methodical grace. He stepped into Holloway's personal space, his gold luxury watch catching the afternoon light. "You told me this car was too much for my budget. Holloway, the truth is, your entire career was too small for my portfolio. Your justice debt starts with an immediate walk to the curb." Holloway, in a state of aggressive panic, tried to stammer out an apology, reaching out to grab Malik's arm in a desperate plea. He was instantly intercepted. Two security officers firmly grabbed Holloway by his arms, twisting him behind his back in a brutal, bone-deep lock. They forced him to his knees on the very spot where the yellow-sealed contract lay. Tessa was grabbed by her bold red blazer and forced down beside him. "Liquidate their credentials," Malik commanded. The security team ripped the employee badges from their chests and snatched the keys to Ferrari from Holloway's trembling hands. They physically dragged Holloway and Tessa through the center of the showroom, their shoes squeaking on the polished floors as the other sales staff gathered to jeer and film the disgrace. They were dragged out the front doors and left on the sidewalk in front of the massive signage they no longer had the right to represent. Malik looked at the regional director. "Scrub this showroom. I want a new management team that treats every person who walks through those doors like they own the place. Because now, I do," he checked his gold watch, "and have this silver Ferrari delivered to my daughter's house by sunset. I think she'll enjoy the car more than Holloway did." The power was destroyed. The truth was revealed, and the villain was liquidated.